So I was walking around, out and about, just listening to some tunes, and then I seen some guy that I knew I used to go to school with. I was thinking, is it that guy? And then he called my name over. I was like, yeah, it is. So I went over to him. I talked to him for a bit. He was by a parking meter, and I asked him, so what are you doing now? He just told me paying for my parking, and he laughed a little bit. And I'm just walking back, wondering, why did I ask him that question? What else would he be doing at a parking meter? Sniffing cocaine off of it, just looking at it, examining the parking meter, appreciating its texture and how it looks like. It's such a stupid ass question. What else would he be doing at a parking meter? But anyways, today in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 Trevor Henderson entities. Last video I mentioned last video in the Cartoonka and Pennywise video, I mentioned that I wanted to do another video where I talk about more Trevor Henderson entities. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 of them. Now, the 3 of them are going to be the Fetidking, the Smileroom, and the Man with the Upside Down Face. I kind of came up with these ideas because I was thinking, if all 3 of these were real, we'd be fucked. Well, maybe not completely fucked, but life would be so much more difficult. I'm going to start off with the Smileroom. Now, the Smileroom, basically, it's pretty much in its name. It's like this room where once you open the door, there's a bunch of fucking teeth. There's just a giant... It's like there's a giant man or some shit on the other side, wanting to munch you up. And once you open this door, the teeth, they I don't know, it tongues your ass, or it brings you in with its tongue. It basically pulls you in, and then you get brought to this different dimensions. Basically, the Smileroom, the teeth is basically like a wormhole to a different entity, different cosmic being or whatever. And the cosmic being, it seems to hate, let's say it seems to hate children. It probably does hate children. It just seems to hate humans in general. And it's so old to the point where it's dying. It's so old to the point where it could be go to the nursery home and it's gonna end up dying. And the only thing that's keeping it going apparently is its hatred for humans. It's pure hatred and anger and disdain for this species that came over and fucked up this rock and dirt sphere. It's the only thing that's keeping it going, and pretty much it's actually a pretty cool and creepy entity. If you see the pictures of it, it does look pretty terrifying. Imagine coming I feel like the only reason we're safe from the Smileroom, the only thing that would make it worse is if it was able to randomly show up in your gaff one day. Imagine one day, right, you just wake up, you go take a shower or whatever, you go do your random ass shit, and then you open a door to a room and the teeth are just there ready to munch you up like a fucking chewing gum or something. That would be scary. But I looked it up. I was doing some research on it, and apparently the Smileroom, from what I could gather, he's really only attracted to neglected places or abandoned places. So I don't know, even construction sites, basically pretty much places where no human lives. It's pretty much a place where a homeless man would stay or whatever. So squatters, they're kind of fucked. They'd have to stay homeless. They'd have to stay out on the streets if they do not want to get munched up and sent to a different dimension. Because once you get inside of those jaws, you're pretty much fucked, because then 6 seconds later they close permanently, and then the room around you basically start to get digested alive. Or something else that would happen to you as well, which probably must even suck as well. You get transformed into a Smileroom host. I don't know exactly what they're called, but basically they're these creatures that have teeth going all around down across their body. It looks like a zipper. You could just zip them open, be like the gorilla in SpongeBob. And pretty much what they do is they are supposed to lure you towards the Smileroom, so the Smileroom can munch you up and get its calories. But I've also heard that those creatures, those hosts, can run super fast. They can infect you as well. So I'm not sure how they infect you. I haven't found that out. I feel like I don't know. It seems like the way they look and all. I feel like the way they infect you is just by simply just touching you. Be like, hey, you're doing a great job, buddy. Oh, you're transforming into an eldritch abomination. Sorry about that. Pretty much like that, which just sounds insane as well. So even if you go near them, you're gonna get infected. And also they apparently have regeneration as well. So even if you bring a shotgun with you, even if you and the boys decide to go urban exploring and you have a backpack full of the essentials, switchblade, gun, just weapons in general, even if you do manage to damage the host, it will regenerate and it can run super fast. So can you even get away from it? I'm not sure about that one now. I don't think you can, but it still sounds dangerous and terrifying. And yeah, it doesn't. I kind of did think it would show up in your gaff. That would be scary, but it doesn't. Thank God. That's the only thing that would make it worse. So if the Smileroom was real, life would be so much more difficult. People would be constantly paranoid. Also, there's this thing that you're not supposed to think about, or else it'll get worse or whatever. It's like a meme take hazard, like thinking about it is bad. I used to think that like, oh, if you think about it, if you keep thinking about it, it's gonna like, appear in your room randomly. But I'm very sure if you keep thinking about it, it's just gonna know you're within the area and it's gonna be able to find you a lot easier. I have no idea. The whole thing with don't think about it or else it will show up in your nightmares or else something bad will happen. I have no idea what would happen if you think about it. But yeah, the smile room definitely is like one of the more interesting entities in my opinion. And also an entity you just can't really do anything about. It's just sort of like by chance if you come across it. Like, if this was real, it'd probably be a safe bet to stay away from like any abandoned buildings, any like, places that are just neglected, anything where it's completely empty, even like construction sites where no one hangs around with. The smile room can appear in those apparently as well. So it's like, you wanted to move into this house? Sorry, bud, you're gonna have to live in a dumpster now. Smile room is taxing your gaff from you that you're gonna move into. That sounds like it would suck. And the smile room, it definitely is one of the more it definitely is one of the more random entities as well. It's also it would also be pretty tricky to prove that it's real, because in the lore, in the story to do with the smile room, 3 friends went to like this abandoned bowling alley. 2 of them went in and they never got found again. They disappeared. All that they could find was like a picture of the smile room on the guy's flip phone or the guy's phone, and but the smile room was gone. He just like moved house. He just like bounced or some shit. He packed his bags, left the wife and kids, and just went to like a different building, because that's what the smile room does. Once he's like done staying in a building, he will like once he's like done hunting there, once he's exhausted everything that he could hunt there for, he'll move to like a different hunting ground and wait for more people to come across him. Now the thing, actually, I said a good thing with the smile room is that you kind of get a warning sometimes when you're gonna come across it. So like if you're in an abandoned building and you come across a door and the smile room is there, it will say above the smile room. So that could be like a sign. It's like, yo, don't go there. That's where bro is at. But then sometimes in some images I seen, the smile room doesn't even like manifest in like doors or whatever. He can manifest at like top of like staircases or like in gaps in the ceiling or just in walls. So like it could just like appear randomly and just like lick you in, just like take you for a ride. So the smile room seems like he'd be pretty tricky to avoid. Just stay away from any abandoned areas. Now the next one, the fetidking. The fetidking probably is one of the most interesting ones and probably the coolest ones actually in the Trevor Henderson lore. The fetidking, basically what the fetidking is basically COVID for your phone and laptop and shit like that. What the fetidking would effectively do is it would reset humanity's like back to before we even had like proper technology or anything. And I'm fairly sure it's able to like go through analog shit, but it mainly just goes through like electronic devices. So pretty much how the fetidking works is that it will show up on your laptop or PC or any screen as like an image called kingbirthimage.jpg. And once you tap on it, you're pretty much fucked. You're gonna have to, put your laptop in the dumpster. You're gonna have to smash it up into bits. Like you're trying to do a YouTube video or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, me break my laptop. Let me get lots of views. And pretty much that's the only way to get rid of the fetidking, because once it's on your laptop's already infected. The only other, like, you'll get an image with like some text saying, oh yeah, the fetidking is coming soon. And the fetidking, it will take like a while for it, but the image of the fetidking will start to get more distorted and shit. The flesh will be dangling off, and then eventually, like Cartoon Cat, it will just like reach its hand out through the screen and like come and like kill you in some unknown way. I don't know, just like come and strangle you to death, like fucking Homer Simpson and Bart, like fucking Homer Simpson and his son, or gouge your eyes or snap your neck or something. All I know is that once it manifests, you are gone. I did hear though, I didn't hear this in any YouTube video or anything. I did hear the only way to like defeat it is like with this thing called like the data drive or the data knife or whatever, but I haven't heard like any stories or whatever where someone managed to hurt it or someone managed to kill it. So I'm just gonna assume that's like some fan interpretation shit and like bullshit. And in the actual lore, the fetidking cannot be destroyed or anything. The only way you could destroy him is if you break technology. So now, if the fetidking was real, our technology would be pointless, because the fetidking, he's like omniscient, so he can infect multiple technology. He can infect multiple devices at once. He can like probably kill multiple people at once. So like in an end of the world scenario, I'd like to imagine the fetidking, the people that would be safe from the fetidking, actually, the people that would be safe from like the fetidking and the smile room, will probably be like people living on isolated islands, like those North Sentinel lads who don't even know what the flip phone is, bro. They probably don't even know what McDonald's is or anything. They hardly know what technology is. they're grand because the fetidking has no means of reaching to them. And in the smile room, there's no abandoned buildings or anything. They'd be living in huts or whatever, unless the smile room can like appear in like, I don't know, gaps in like natural walls or the ground. I haven't heard about that, but yeah, from those entities so far, the North Central Island lads would be safe, and anyone who doesn't have technology was safe. Like anyone who's living in an isolated area, no electronics or anything, they'd be grand because the smiler cannot show up in your gaff if you're living in it. It's just like, it's kind of first come, first serve. Like, you come to this house, you bought it. It's like, no, better luck next time, buddy. I came here first, It's kind of like if you're already living there, the smiler can't do anything. He only goes to, like, places that are just already abandoned. So, life already seems really difficult to live with the fetidking and the smiler room because the fetidking, no technology, and the smiler room, pretty much you'd be, I don't know, we'd go back to, like, I don't know, caveman eras or just really old times where society wasn't as like, developed or anything, and we have to be, homeless people would have to stay homeless, and they'd have to not get any technologies or else they're fucked. So the next one, actually, the next entity, which I'm pretty sure, I like to imagine it's probably like the most evil, maybe the most powerful entity, I don't know, but according to Trevor, but Trevor said Cartoon Cat is his most powerful entity. I used to think it was this guy, but apparently not. I don't know how. I feel like it is because he literally just cannot be touched. He's actually a ghost, but Cartoon Cat can also not be really damaged as well because he is a character with unlimited Toon Force. But this next character, his name is the man with the upside down face. The man with the upside down face, essentially, he's drawn to like areas where like there's really strong negative energy and shit. He's kind of like Pennywise in a way, where his influence can like turn people into like schizos. They can make people go like, all psycho shit, all psycho lunatic. Like 1 second you're having a normal conversation with your ma. You say something about her cooking, bro. She stabs you to death. And then the upside down man, he shows up, drains all like the misery, all the trauma, all the negative energy into himself. Like he's sipping off of that like it's Powerade. And you cannot see him with the naked eye. He's completely invisible, like to normal people, but you can't see him in like the background of tragedies in like photos and shit. Like if you take if someone takes a photo of like a tragic event like a car crash or a homicide or some tragic event, you will be able to see him in the background if he was there. Now a kind of a warning signal where like something bad is about to happen, something's about to go down, and you could like warn some people, or you could warn the boys and just leave the area, is when the man with the upside down head, when he's around, food just starts to spoil immediately, man. The food like you buy today, it will just start to go through like fast forward through like its aging process and turn into just like old stinky mush that smells like shit. And pretty much that's the only warning you're really only gonna get of like the upside down face man showing up. So, and I'm fairly sure the upside down face man, he could show up wherever the fuck he feels like. He could show up in your gaff. He could show up in like he could show up wherever there's like people. He'd prefer to show up where there's more negative energy, but he can also influence negative energy. He can also make people more negative. He can cause accidents as well. He could like show up and he could like cause a car crash by like blowing out the tires or whatever, or he could just like possess someone to like kill another person or whatever, or maybe he could even just influence someone to kill themselves. So yeah, pretty much he's a bottom feeder. He feeds off of negative energy and shit. And now, if all three of these were real, the world would be a much, much more difficult place to live in. You'd probably be better off just offing yourself, really. You'll barely be able to live. The only way you'll be able to like properly live in like this world, maybe somewhat decent life, is if you just stay away from abandoned buildings, don't believe in technology, and I was gonna say something about with the upside down face man. You can't really avoid the upside down face man, I guess, if you just convince if you're like in a shitty situation or whatever. You could just convince, can we bring the vibes back up? Can we stop being so negative, man? Like, can we stop being so angry and shit? Maybe the upside down face man won't show up. But then again, the upside down face man can influence them. So it's like he can influence a person to, act out violently to, basically cause a tragedy. So the upside down face man can feed off of it. Maybe you could convince someone to resist the upside down faces man's influence. Although I haven't really heard of that. But if you could, that's be like the only way, I'd say. Other than that, just like leave the area where like negative stuff is going to be happening. But yeah, the only way you're gonna really thrive in a world where the upside down face man, the fetidking, and the smile room are living is if you are a homeless man and you live in a dumpster. Like the homeless people, they'd be thriving. They're sorted. They still have problems of like they're gonna starve, they're gonna die of dehydration, and they're gonna die of hypothermia or other shit. But they seem to be the safest because think about it. Think about it because like they're already homeless. They already don't live anywhere, so the smile room can't get to them. They already don't have technology, or most of them don't really use technology that much as regular people did. So the fetid king can't get through them, and then the only thing that can the only other thing that can really get to them is the man with the upside down face. So out of all three of these, the man with the upside down face seems to be the most unavoidable because he could just show up anywhere at random and just cause shit to go down. With the Fetid King, you could just, chuck your phone out the window and just break it to a million pieces and then you're grand. It can't get to you because that's pretty much all you can do once the thing is, once your phone is infected. It's like cancer. There's no cure to it. You have to, destroy it or else it's going to come for you. And then with the smile room, just like, you see an abandoned building, you see something that looks abandoned, you see something that clearly has no one living in it. Just stay the fuck away from that or else you're just going to become like, another entity's like meal or whatever. But I also did forget to mention, I did talk about the Smile Room's hosts. There's also a problem with the Smile with them as well. They could like, I think they could, the Smile Room could just send them out into like populated areas and lure more people towards it. That would be a problem because like those guys can infect you. So yeah, the Smile, avoiding the Smile Room itself seems easy enough. Just don't go any near abandoned buildings. But the hosts themselves, let's just hope you have like a vat of acid in store or whatever. You're just gonna shove them in there, to completely destroy them because they can regenerate. Or if you have enough firepower to put them down, maybe if you put down the Smile Room host, they'll just like get damaged enough and then they'll leave. But it doesn't really seem like they have any conscience or anything. They're just basically like slaves to the Smile Room. So I'm not sure if it's like a hive mind. Like if you hurt the Smile Room host, you'll hurt the Smile Room. Like what if you hurt the Smile Room host and the Smile Room gets like pissed off and then he teleports like your gaff or whatever. He teleports like closer to you. Then you're fucked. But yeah, the Smile Room hosts, they would seem to be causing more trouble. But I haven't seen any images or anything, and I'm fairly sure that the Smile Room hosts, they don't really leave far from like the building, so like they wouldn't go out of their way. They wouldn't go for a hike to like a different town or whatever to bring someone back to where the Smile Room is. They'd probably just like stay in the vicinity of the area, stay in the vicinity of the abandoned area. So like if you see an abandoned building but you see someone there, but you'll probably be able to tell it's a Smile Room host because they're already infected. So they'd be like acting a little bit weird, maybe walk a little bit strangely. And even if you like get close and look at them, you say that's not human. Then stay the fuck away from that. Just stay away. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about these three Trevor Henderson entities because I thought like this concept would be pretty interesting. I also feel like they're the most unavoidable entities you can't really do anything about, or there's very little you can do about. I would have included Cartoon Cat, but I already mentioned him a lot, so it's like it would get pretty repetitive. I already talked about Cartoon Cat. I already said a lot. I already said all that there is about Cartoon Cat, but anyways, yeah, these entities are also pretty scary, and yeah, that's just me talking about some Trevor Henderson entities. See you later.